Are you thinking of bringing your dependent alongside with you while you study in Spain? Probably your spouse, your children, your father, your mother. Then this video is for you. From last year, November 2024, new rules have been enforced, which will be put into play from May 2025. And there are a lot of things that have changed since last year. So this video is going to explain to you how you can bring your dependents alongside with you while you study in Spain. So let's dive in.
Nomads.
Hola, you welcome back to Nomad. So if you're dreaming of studying in Spain, whether you want to go to university or through a vocational program, and you're thinking, how can I bring my spouse, my kids, my family members to come alongside with me while I study? Probably you want your spouse to be working while you are schooling. Guys, then this is the ultimate guide you need. Yes, in this video we're going to be talking about lots of things, how you can do the process. We're going to be talking about you coming to Spain, the housing, the budgeting, the proof of fund, and everything you need basically to settle here with your family. So let's answer the big question: why bring your family to Spain? Of course, we know that Spain is one in town. Spain is everybody's paradise, or should I say everybody, or 90% of people's paradise. Lot of things, lots of wonderful universities. The Mediterranean lifestyle is epic, and Spain has this way of balancing life and leisure. Yes. So in this video, we are going to zoom on the visa application process, especially proving funds on your dependents, plus covering budgeting, housing, education, settling, all the financial details that you need to actually bring your family members or whoever you want to bring, that is your partner, to Spain while you study. The visa process is your key to Spain, and the new immigration law, effective on May 20th, 2025, under November 2024 amendment, makes it easier to bring your dependents. So if you're a bachelor's, a master, PhD student, you cannot bring your spouse, your family, your children, and you've got the opportunity. Here is a step-by-step guide to actually help you in this process. Number one, let's talk about the application. So you have to apply in the consulate in your home country. You have to book an appointment with the consulate in your home country and start the process. This applies to academic students, bachelors, masters, PhD, and vocational students. So if you want to bring your spouse, your children under 18 or even up to 26 years, you can actually bring them. Okay, so you actually got two options. You can either apply together to bring your family to Spain, or apply individually, maybe when you're already settled in Spain and you want them to join you later. But then here is a step-by-step breakdown on the application process. Like I said, number one, you have the option of joint application. So this is where you submit your visa and your family unification visa together at the embassy, okay, or the consulate in your home country. You book an appointment with them and you submit your application alongside your student visa. So you can file all your application at once with about you and your family, and this helps to save time. This helps to to ensure that everyone enters Spain with the right status. So this works for all category of students, including vocational program students. So if you already know, I made a video on student visa, so you can go and watch it and see the student visa requirement. Of course, you're going to have an acceptance letter from the recognized institution in Spain. Also, you have the option of actually applying individually. Maybe the student wants to come and settle in Spain, then after a while bring it to our family members. You still have that option. Okay, so whichever one you choose, Spain is actually open to you bringing your dependents or anyone as regards to family members, parents, children, spouse to Spain to study. Now, what are the things you need for this application? Of course, you are going to do a student visa process, which demands that you have an acceptance letter from a recognized institution. Okay, maybe you want to go to university in Spain or vocational school, you should have an acceptance letter, and you need to have proof of fund for you, at least 680 euro per month for yourself. And you're going to have bank statement at least 3 to 6 months, showing your name, your bank details. Then if you have maybe scholarship later confirming funding, you have sponsor guarantee, and all these things will be important. Okay, next is your health insurance. I actually made a video about student visa application process in Spain, where you can know what to do and how to apply. You can check it here. Yes, so go and watch the video after this one and see the detailed process on how to apply for student visa in Spain. Okay, so and the visa fee varies country by country. Okay, now let's talk about your dependents. What are the visa requirements needed for each family member? Number one, you need to have a relationship document, maybe your marriage certificate, birth certificate of your children, birth certificate of your parents. All these things will be legalized and translated into Spanish. Then you need a proof of funds for your dependent, at least 100 to 200 euro per month for each of your dependents. So for example, maybe a couple will be about maybe 10,000 or 10,560 per year. Maybe a family of three will be about 12,960 euro per year. So you also need a bank statement, maybe you and your spouse bank account, showing that you guys have enough liquidity, you have enough money to sustain yourself. If you don't, maybe you're under a scholarship, you should show that. Maybe somebody's going to sponsor you, you have to present a notarized letter showing the bank statement of the person that is going to sponsor you. Okay, and of course you need health insurance. This is non-negotiable. I'm going to do a detailed video on health insurance, but then for any kind of visa you need in Spain, you must get a health insurance. You can get a private coverage for you and your children and your family. Now let's talk about proof of dependency. Kids between 18 to 26 years, they need to show that they are unemployed, maybe you're studying or living with you, and bank statement showing that you support them. And parents under 80, maybe you want to bring your parents, you have to show their health dependency, proof of expense. And parents who are over 80, you don't need any dependency proof. You would need a passport and a valid photograph for this application for each of your dependents as well. And the good news is that even if your child is up to the age of 26 years, you can now bring your child alongside with you as a dependent. So initially it wasn't up to 26 years, but now Spain has permitted that the age limit should be extended for dependents who have children up to 26 years. So good news, right? So like I said, the option 2 is that you can apply later from Spain. If your dependents can't move immediately, you can bring them later by applying for the family. Yes, so you, after securing your student visa, your TIE, your foreign identification card, your dependents will join you. Yes, and you will initiate the process in Spain while they are in whatsoever country they are. And you also need a proof of fund for them, and you also need a Spanish and international bank statement for yourself. Of course, you must have been settled to a large extent in Spain. Yes, except if they are going to maybe act as a sponsor to you. Yes, okay, so basically you're going to provide proof of funds to show that these people will be able to sustain themselves and be able to live comfortably in Spain without disturbing the government or anybody. Now let's talk about the tips to enhance your visa application. You need to start early, at least start 3 to 6 months before applying to show consistent funds. Legalize and notarize all your documents, then present an acceptable proof of fund document. Make sure everything is clear, no things prior to your application. Sometimes, and again, the application can take 1 to 3 months before they get back to you. So make sure everything is in place And then for vocational programs, always confirm accreditation with the consulate. Make sure that the school is actually accredited to offer admission to you and for you to use them to move to Spain. So what about the visa duration? Visa lasts the entire program. So, for example, maybe you want to do a 4-year program, you can do it straight away without renewal. Okay, and again, after arriving in Spain, within 30 days, you and your dependents, if you apply together, you're going to visit the foreigners office for a TIE. You're going to bring your visa approval, your passport. This is to enable you get NIE or documents for you to legally stay in Spain. So make sure that you save and keep the digital and the physical documents that you're going to be given. Okay, now let's talk about budgeting for your family. Okay, it's not enough to say that you want to move with your family. Of course, I tell people that living in Europe is every man for himself. Yes, except in certain cases the government assists, but then the assistance might not be that much. So budgeting is actually critical for a family, to know the cost, to know what to put in mind, to know that okay, yes, this is what I am coming for, and my spouse and I, or my family and I, are ready to take on this. So if you are coming to Spain, at least your tuition fees should be settled maybe around 6,000 to maybe 20,000 a year, depending on the university. And if you're going to use vocational studies, at least 2,000 to 10,000 euros per year. And again, you should budget for living expenses, at least 680 euro per month for food, transport, personal cost, and each dependent at least should have a budget for themselves. That will be included in the proof of fund, of course. And again, housing is not as very cheap as it used to be. At least for a 2 to 3 bedroom in apartment, you should budget for 800 to 1,800 in Spain. Okay, depending on the environment. Your children as well. Maybe you want to do daycare are not free, but then schools in Spain are actually free except private institution. So budget all these things and know what you're actually coming from. I think this all adds to the summary of your proof of funds that you are going to be providing to the embassies. And again, short vocational courses need funds for the duration. Yes, you also need funds to show to that your family are able to sustain themselves, ongoing fund, bank account, and the likes. So how can you actually enhance and make the situation to be better? Of course, students can now work 30 hours per week starting from August 2024 last year. It was passed into law that the work hour of students can be extended. So vocational students may get course related internship. If you want to do vocational studies, you may get internship relating to what you are actually studying. Likewise, university students. But then the summary of it all is that you can work at least 30 hours per week in Spain as a student. So aside that, your family member, your spouse can also work in Spain while you are schooling. Okay, that leads us to the next point: work opportunities for your dependents. Actually, your dependents can now work in Spain. The new law grants dependent visa holders the work permit to work full-time jobs, to be employees, self-employed in any field they like. The only limit is that maybe niche like professional sports or certain medical jobs might not really be that free to work in, but then it's possible. While you are schooling, your spouse income can at least take care of rent, can at least take care of some basic things in your cost of living. Okay, so another thing that you must know is that you should find family friendly housing environment, or should I say houses that actually permit you to bring your kids, bring your family, because lots of housing here have different rules, and some may allow more than one person, some may not allow. You can actually search on sites like Idealista or Fotocasa. I'm going to put them in the description. You search for houses, look at the description properly in order to know the kind of house you're going for, because in cases whereby you maybe defy the law, maybe the person say no pets, no children, and you defy the law, you might actually get a fine for that. So let's talk about education and child care for your kids. I already mentioned something like similar to schooling for your children if you have any. So public schools are actually free for children, so you can actually bring maybe their transcripts, you can bring a proof of their education, maybe they've gone to a certain level in schooling, bring all that so that they can be able to continue with the equivalent in Spain. Now, daycare or preschool, daycare might be 200 to 600 euro per month, but then you can ask your university vocational center for subsidized daycare. And again, make sure to enroll your children in other out of education activities, and bring medical records, especially for maybe you have elderly parents. Make sure you bring their medical records, because this will help people who are going to be taking care of them or treating them to know their medical history. Okay, and again, how can you actually help your family to settle in? You're already in Spain now, what next? Of course, Spain has lots of benefits for people living here. You can actually get social benefits, you can actually get feeding support from the government if you meet the requirements. So make sure to do your diligence and search depending on the city that you are going to be living. Actually, bringing your dependent to Spain is not a complex process, but if you do not meet the requirements, if you do not fulfill the criteria, if you do not present your proof of fund as you should, you might likely get declined. So dear friends, make sure that you do the application right, have a solid proof of fund, and make sure you fulfill all the criteria, and you will be on your way to Spain, enjoying the Spanish sunset. Well, this is not a long video. I hope I've been able to actually pass knowledge to you. If you have questions, you can type in the comments, or maybe you want to speak to me privately, you can go to www.normals.com. So show you the terms of my service and consultation, so you can know how to talk to me and work with me. Well, this is where we call it a day. I really appreciate you, and I hope you learned something from this video. Please make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, so that next time I upload, you'll be the first person to be notified and get the information firsthand. Until then, see you in my next video. Adios.